Hello out there. Peabody, Sherman, and Wayback here.
He's Mr. Peabody.
He's Sherman, and if the Wayback could talk, it would tell you that it's the Wayback. Today, Sherman and I are going to explore the five senses.
You mean like taste, smell?
No, Sherman. The five senses as in nickel. Specifically the Indian head nickel. And we shall be on hand to help in the engraving of the first coin of that kind.
The year?
1869.
The place?
The plains of Wyoming. We entered the Wayback Machine and were promptly transported to our destination. And there, standing behind his easel, stood the noted artist and engraver, Talbot Heffelfinger.
Hi, Mr. Heffelfinger. How's the Indian head coming?
See for yourself, son.
You can imagine our surprise when we saw an excellent likeness of Mahatma Gandhi.
That's wrong, Mr. Heffelfinger.
He's an Indian, isn't he?
Well, yes, but the wrong variety.
Look, I've been commissioned by the government to paint a picture of an Indian head, and so far the only one I've seen was a fellow named Tonto who was on his way to Hollywood.
Mr. Peabody can find an Indian for you to paint. Can't you, Mr. Peabody?
As usual, Sherman's faith in me was justified. We packed up Talbot Heffelfinger's equipment and adjourned to the nearest fort.
I'd like to help you, but there ain't no Injuns around here.
Oh, yes, there are, and I'll show you how we can meet one. I built a small fire, borrowed an army blanket, and proceeded to send a column of smoke into the sky.
I tell you, you're wasting your time.
I never waste my time. Suddenly, the silence of the vast plains was split with the cries of war whoops.
Indians! We're being attacked!
Indeed we were, but by one lone brave.
I don't get it. How'd you force that Injun into attacking us?
The smoke signal. There in the sky, directly over the fort, were the words, Custer won. I knew that would make any Indian mad. All right, Mr. Heffelfinger, go out and ask him to pose. Unfortunately, however, this was to be a still life portrait, and the Indian was anything but still.
I've got it! I've got it!
All he got was the tail end of the horse.
That isn't good enough?
Hardly.
Gee, Mr. Peabody, he'll never be able to paint with a horse running around like that. How can we get the horse to stop?
Well, that's simple, Sherman. Just say, whoa.
Whoa!
But although the horse desisted, the Indian didn't.
Too bad there isn't something to make a human stop.
Ah, but there is. In a matter of minutes, I had constructed a stoplight. Now, Mr. Heffelfinger, paint your subject. The highly elated artist threw himself into his work and 1 hour later returned with a finished product.
It's the best thing I've ever done.
It was quite good. That is, if you care for stoplights.
You didn't paint the Indian.
Indian?
There was no other course but to try it over again, but by this time the Indian had tired of the attack.
He's gone.
But not forgotten. Sure enough, there were moccasin prints leading off into the wilderness.
I think I'll just mail him the picture of Mahatma Gandhi and forget it.
I'm afraid that won't do, Talbot. With me leading the way, naturally, the hunt was on. Shortly before sundown, we reached an embankment overlooking an Indian village.
Indians! Hundreds and hundreds of Indians!
Please, Mr. Heffelfinger, restrain yourself, or you'll get us captured.
You same paleface who try painting my picture. You beginning to bug me.
Yes, but Chief, your picture will be on every nickel in the United States.
And in Canada, too.
Tell 'em you what. You beat 'em strongest warrior in village, you get 'em paint my picture.
I'll do it. Who is your strongest warrior?
Standing Bear.
He was standing all right, and he was a bear.
No, I can't fight a real bear.
Of course you can, Talbot. Do as I say, and you're sure to win. And with that, the valiant artist entered into the fray. He was obviously outclassed.
What now, Peabody?
Make it 2 out of 3. Make it 3 out of 5. 5 out of 7. Now make it 75,000 out of 4,298,000.
I can't do it. I can't go on any longer.
You won't have to, sir. Look at your adversary.
He won, Mr. Peabody.
He didn't win me, Sherman. He won the fight. Curious thing about bears, after fighting 1 or 2 days, they seem to lose their stamina. Talbot Heffelfinger, on the other hand, was full of vim and vigor and proceeded to paint the head of the Indian chief.
He's a chief, Mr. Peabody?
Why, yes, the most famous of all the Hanka Indians. Don't tell me you've never heard of the Hankas.
Oh, I've heard of them all right, but I never heard of him.
You've never heard of Hanka Chief?